supine cross connect. So I'm going to set myself up on my back. I'm going to measure distance before I then sort of utilize a hook lying position to sort of establish the bony contact that I need for this exercise. So the exercise itself will sort of see me with a very soft bend in my knee, my foot about the height of a foam roller off the ground, and then effectively the position will look something to this extent. But what I'll do prior to getting into this position, or prior to doing this exercise, is I'll try and set up my bony contacts in a hook lying position. I tend to find that sort of triggers things off a lot better. So when we're in a position like this, there are certain bony contacts that we're looking to hold on to as we sort of apply pressure into the wall. Those being that when we're talking a foot, we're looking to hold pressure through the inside edge of a heel and the base of the big toe. At the same time, I want to make sure that I don't lose contact with the base of my little toe and the outside edge of my heel. So effectively, I should have 4 points of contact as my foot's in the wall. Now I'm just biasing the pressure through the inside edge of my foot as I do so. On the back side of my pelvis, I've got something called my PSIS, and I want to ensure that that's nice and heavy on the ground. The way that I find that is if I find the top of my iliac crest on the outside, I roll to the back side of my pelvis and I'll find that there's a big bony bump that I'm aiming to have heavy on the ground as I'm in this position. The space between your shoulder blade, or the rib cage between your shoulder blade and your spine, then becomes another area we want to have nice and heavy on the ground as we're in this position. And the bony bumps at the base of your skull, again, serve as the other bony contacts we want to have heavy when we're in this position. And trying to establish in a hook lying position works quite well to sort of set things up. So in a position like this, I can use the pressure through my feet to slide myself along the ground and get heavier on those bony contacts along the way. So if I find my 4 points of contact in my feet, bias that pressure through the inside edge of my heels, I'm going to start to feel some activation or a stronger sensation through my hamstrings. I'm going to use that pressure through the floor to try and sort of drag myself up along the ground. I won't move anywhere. I'll just sort of effectively take some slack out of my skin. But as I do so, I'm going to feel myself get heavier on those PSISs, heavier on the rib cage between my shoulder blade and the spine, heavier on the bony bumps at the base of my skull. And effectively from here, what I'm going to try and do is hold on to that heaviness up the system as I then take whatever leg I am going to ground along the wall, and I'm going to then place it in the position that we measured before. So again, I've got a soft bend in my knee, and now I'm going to try and find those bony contacts on the foot as I press into the wall, and I can sort of reinforce some of that heaviness that I feel up the chain. I'm now going to take my knee towards my nose. As I do so, I'm making sure that I hold on to the same heaviness through the contacts through my pelvis. So I can lose them if I take my knee too far. So I'm only taking the knee as far as I'm able to hold that pressure, that heaviness through the PSISs that I had previously established. I'm taking the knee in the direction of my nose, and when it can't go any further, I'm going to take my outside, hold my hand on the same side, grab the top of my shin, and then let that leg just passively fall into that arm, which will create just a nice passive stretch on the shoulder on that same side. I'm then going to take the opposite elbow and reach it towards that knee. Now, in terms of how far that reach is just determined by where I can get the heaviest pressure through that rib cage on, in this case, the right-hand side. So I can reach it too far and I'll lose pressure on that rib cage. I can reach not far enough and my shoulder blade will get in the way. So it's having a bit of a play just to establish where I can reach and get heaviest on that rib cage region between the spine and the shoulder blade on that side, and that'll determine how far I reach. And from here, I'm just going to hold this pressure. I'm going to keep pushing through the foot to maintain that heaviness on the bony contacts that we've established. And I'm then going to breathe. So I'm going to take nice, long, slow breaths in through my nose, trying to get big into my back on the right-hand side. And nice, relaxed breaths out, making sure that I hold on to the reaches that I've established and the pressure that I've got through my grounded foot on the wall. And I'm going to repeat that for the prescribed repetitions.